Right, are we live? Oh, technical difficulties. Once starts. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sendix Weber channel. Please let me know if everything's working okay. It's finally started bloody working. It's only took a year. The suspense is killing me a lot. Yeah, sorry about that. I've just been trying to set things up because I just realised the time and it's 7:02. Got a different mug today. Sound is a bit loud. Probably just deafen you. Right, I'll change that. Hopefully that's better. Is that a little bit better? I've just adjusted it a little bit. All good here. Evening to everyone. I'll read out all your names as we're going through. Of course, I've got to have a CFS run on the table to show you all, but I'll get everything sorted out because it is a little bit messy. I see quite a few of you have been waiting around as well, so that's nice to see. I'll be reading out some of your names in a minute. I'm just changing to the live chat so I can actually see everything. Evening to James. We've got the Trainer Nature Show, Barback, legendary people, Earthheart, Chris A. Plenty of names in here. John Baxter, hey up to you. Hey up, John. Danny V, one of the top mods. We've also got Andrew as well, probably in here as well, just being the silent but deadly menace. We've got Suit in here as well. Hello to you, Suit. Just had to kickstart YouTube chat. Yeah, it's a mess in it. It's alright, faff. Hello to your yellow loving friend, Rachel, as well. I've just seen your name pop up. Ignore that. I don't know what it's doing. But yeah, get them likes up, everyone. Let's get this one of the biggest streams that I've ever done. I've got 15 of you in here, so let's just see where it can go. But yeah, we're covering winter stuff. We're covering September CET, Central England temperature, which I will pull up in a minute. I haven't actually pulled that up yet, but ignore that, Google. There you go. There it is. Right. Hadley Central England temperature is currently sitting at 14.4, which is 0.8 degrees above average provisional to the 26th, so yesterday, and that will update in due time. 21 of you, wow. That's crazy. But that is a good sign, actually, for a colder winter, because it can basically mean, usually when you see a CET 14.5 or below, in recent years, we've actually seen a cold winter. Now, obviously, it's all poppycock and probably doesn't mean anything at this stage, but you never know. It could play an important role later on, maybe even into the winter. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's all a matter of whatever works at the time. Hello to Anne Smith and to Niall. Niall? Hope I've said that right. Hello to you. Nice to see some new names in here, new faces. We'll run very quickly through the current trends and then we'll move on to the good stuff, the juicy stuff, the juicy gossip, which gets you all talking in the chat and has done over the last few days. I mean, thank you all for that. All the links, by the way, to any of the Send It merch cup is coming soon. I've just been speaking to James about that and that's all getting sorted, so get excited about that. But yeah, any merch or anything that you fancy, click down there in the description and it's all linked there for you, as well as the Discord, which I hope the link is correct. But anyway, stop waffling, Send It. Get straight at stop waffling, Matthew. If you didn't know, my real name's Matthew. Hello. Let's get straight on with the charts. So at the moment, and I must say this is very, very, very dreary and not the good stuff. Let's be honest. We've got higher pressure into the early part of next week, sitting to our south and east and bringing up a southwesterly wind. And that kind of sets the tone. We've got lower pressure to our north, well away to our northwest, higher pressure to our south, and we're bringing up a southwesterly wind, and that's kind of the trend, I'll be honest. That remains the theme. We've got an area of low pressure there by the 4th of October, going woo and hello to our northeast, going into Iceland. We avoid that. High pressure begins to rebuild through the country, and out to our west just about. Well, but it's nothing too spectacular. Winds in from a westerly direction, and it is mostly dry, besides up in the north where they might catch a few showers, if this run is correct. Into the longer term, a long way off, but as you can see, this is sort of interesting. Higher pressure begins to ridge out in the Atlantic and Atlantic ridge up towards Greenland. So ask about that. Lower pressure to the east, and winds are actually in from quite a long way northwards there. A long-fetched northerly wind. And the -5 line is into Scotland there. It's actually through Scotland. No, I'm never doing that again. It's through Scotland into Northern England there. Pretty cool, actually, for the end, well, for the second week of October, I should say. 2 metre temperatures, actually, if that came off, beginning to cool down in the north. Highs of 1 or 2. That definitely would actually bring the risk of some winteriness over the mountains there. Who thought I'd be talking about that today? Well, that's certainly got you on your toes, hasn't it? 30 of you in here. Wow, big stream. Thank you all for joining. Didn't expect it to be. Battle lines are drawn on the CFS run. You'll see in a minute. Again, I'll read out the chat as well because I see a lot of you in here. And thanks to all the support as well. It's really helping boost the channel. We are the 3rd fastest growing weather channel at the moment. That's down to you lot watching the videos. So obviously enjoying the different style of content I'm producing, which surprises me. I thought it'd fall flat on its bum. But yeah, a lot of you seem to enjoy it. I'm not your traditional forecaster, that's for sure. I am Send It. I have my own way of doing it. Send it to Scandi. That's something you'll hear a lot in the winter if it happens. Right, anyway, enough waffling. Let's get on looking at the worst model of the bunch, the GEM model. Higher pressure is centred just to our south and east, and lower pressures towards Greenland and Iceland, and we are bringing a mild southwesterly wind throughout much of next week. Turning things milder, and before this front, which I must admit is a massive outlier to me, but don't rule it out, it could happen. This very deep area of low pressure, this storm system, moves just to the north of Scotland, bringing in really strong winds to the far north of the country. I'd expect 70 to 80 mile an hour gusts with that. Definitely would be named as well. On the 4th of October, very strong winds, very intense. Centre of that low, 900 and... oh, it doesn't show me on there. That's brilliant. There you go, 940 millibars. That is very, very deep. Would be named that. Definitely probably amber warnings for that. But very developed system there, moving through to our northeast. And I must say it's not favoured by the models, but you never know. Maybe there's a chance. Higher pressure then ridges back towards our south. Lower pressure to the northeast. It's a typical westerly, pest from the west sort of theme. So the trend continues of westerly themes. Andy Wharton, hi. Hello to you. We've got King G, got Fisk in here. So tired of the higher pressure, I want clouds, lol. Yeah, I agree. It's a little bit drab at the moment for me. At the moment, roll on the snow. I'll get my left-handed sledgehammer. Yeah. Trinidad. Essex. It's been very cool here in Essex in recent months. Yeah, it's been quite. It's not been anything too remarkable here either. It's 14 degrees at the moment at 7:10. So. It's nothing too remarkable, is it? Right, CFS time, sod it. We're far enough into the stream, 9 minutes in to be showing some winter charts, I think. Leave a like for this. Thank you, Justine, for joining as well. I saw you on my comments, by the way. I was not being mean. I wasn't being patronising or mean. I just like going through the winter stuff, which is why we're looking at it today. Oh, Hove Beach, nice place. I always wanted to visit Brighton. I think that's where it is. I hope I'm right with that. Mate, I'm fishing tonight. Nice one. Just about to set off. What's the weather going to be on Hove Beach tonight? I'll have a look for you in a minute, actually. I've got the UKV up, and we'll have a quick look, see what the cloud's like. In fact, I'll just bring it up now. Why not? Let's see. So, Sunday tonight. Yep. Oops, that's a notification. Maybe a bit cloudy, the odd patchy shower, but to be honest, mate, it looks pretty dry for you there. If that was tonight, or was it tomorrow night? I'm have to have a look. Send it to Scotland. This is never going to be on Hove Beach tonight. Yeah. Pretty dry, I'd say there. Might be a few showers if you're fishing at 1 AM. I wouldn't imagine you are, but if you're going now, pretty not too bad. There's some rain moving in from the west. A band moving in from the west going to bring some rain to me, extending from the northeast to the southwest. But for you, it looks pretty dry there until midnight tonight. So get your send out, get your send fishing. Anyway, let's move on to the winter stuff. Hopefully that was informative for you, pal. Anyway, so with this CFS run, we're going to run right from now to January time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it looks all right for you there, to be honest, Jesse. And I see some new names in here as well. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get 30 likes. We've got loads of you in here as well, which is really nice to see. I'm from Croatia. I want it to snow. It probably got more chance of snowing there, Marco, than it has in the UK. I can tell you that for definite. Right, let's get on. Higher pressure is very similar with this run. However, lower pressure moves in from the west much earlier with this CFS run. Can't forecast snow model. Actually looks very similar to the GEM, doesn't it? With that low pressure moving to our northeast, bringing in that northerly wind into the second week of October. Higher pressure then to the south, lower pressure to the north, winds in from a westerly direction. But you can see ridging taking place to our west. That's going to allow the jet stream to sink southwards. And it's going to bring in cooler northerly winds at times. Cool. See the -5 line there, just getting into the north of Scotland? Pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? That high pressure, though, doesn't stick around for long to our west, and it begins to topple southwards again. Tries to rebuild to our west again into the start of November, but nothing really comes off with that. Apart from here, you can see that's the Azores high. That is the one which usually sits over Spain. That has ridged out to our west into the start of November, to our west, and we're bringing down a northwesterly wind there. Actually quite cool or cold with that. Northerly wind to start November would actually be pretty cold, and maybe even the risk of a few wintry showers there in the far north of Scotland there. Ridge builds through the country before, again, high pressure to the south, low pressure to the northwest. Winds are in from a southwesterly direction. Pretty mild November here, let's be honest. Again, ridging out to our west briefly. Doesn't last too long before it topples over the top of the country. Higher pressure tries to build towards Scandi. Send it to Scandi. Still the Atlantic's way too strong, and it topples that away. Pretty mild November, but how does December shape up? Well, it looks pretty similar, apart from here. Higher pressure begins to try to dislodge the low pressure of a polar vortex, actually, to our east. It tries to ridge to our west, but of course it's very, very strong. We do get a brief northerly wind there, a brief northerly wind, and the -10 line sinks through the country. That would definitely be quite cold. Maybe even a few wintry showers in the north and the east there. Very cold, actually, with that. Very cold northerly wind. Oh, goodness me, what have I done? Let's get back to that, yeah. Northerly wind, then a ridge builds through the country, so very cold nights possible there through the 4th and the 5th of December there. This is going to be a mild run, innit? You can just tell. You can see higher pressure trying to dislodge the low pressure area of low pressure to the south, but doesn't build enough, and there's no cold air to tap into. Well, who's heard of that one last year? Higher pressure to the northeast, winds in from a easterly direction, it was too mild. But something interesting here is actually taking place. Higher pressure is really trying to build to in the northern latitudes towards Greenland and Iceland, but just doesn't quite make it far enough. We send the colder air into many parts of Eastern Europe, Scandinavia, Denmark, Norway, but we're just on the wrong side of it. We don't quite tap into the cold air, so it'd be very frosty and probably cold by night, but it's too mild. Too mild! What's that, Christmas Day? Oh, yeah, it's going to be quite a cool Christmas Day with that, actually, with that high pressure set over the country. -5 line through, so probably quite a cold night there on Christmas Day. Cold and frosty. Not too bad, probably quite seasonal. But to be honest, first week of January is an absolute write-off with areas of low pressure to the north, higher pressure to the south. It looks very Atlantic driven. Bridging takes place though by the 9th of Jan, bringing down some more cold northerly winds around that. Doesn't last long again, looks very, 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 very strong, the polar vortex in this run. Very strong. We've just got areas of low pressure circling around. Polar vortex isn't getting displaced, dislodged, broken apart. It is just staying in one piece. And that is just allowing this westerly flow, this pressure from the west. Before higher pressure establishes to our southeast into the end of January and brings up a southwesterly wind, it's just very, 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 very westerly winds here. Nothing too much going on. Into the 2nd to 3rd week of Feb, higher pressure ridging out to our west, or attempts to. Doesn't quite get there to Scandi. Don't send it to Scandi in that run. The areas of low pressure are too strong towards Greenland, to our north, and this is a typical thing we do see throughout the winters. You can see we're tapping into some colder air into the 22nd of Feb. Bit of an easterly there, but the height's not properly developed to our northeast, so it's pretty dry with that and pretty disappointing. And then into the last part, oh, look at that, the last frame. Higher pressure is sent to Scandi, and we're bringing a cold easterly wind, but it's the 13th of March, so the cold's basically gone. So that's just a write-off. Not an exciting run there, was it? Been loving the long-range forecast. I hope we see some white stuff this year. Send it to Cornwall, yes. We'll try our best. 27 likes. Who's left a thing? Oh, cheers, Earth. I didn't see that. Apologies. Thank you for the donation, Earth. I really do appreciate it. I like the little cool sticker. I quite like that. Hello to Alex. Nice one for being here. Yeah, cheers for that, Alex. I really appreciate it. You've smashed the like button. Yeah, I'm sure everyone has. Ask if he wants another takeaway. I think that's up to Gav, pal. That's not involving me. Croatia needs to have a cold winter. Didn't have a cold one in years. Well, hopefully this is the year for you. Hopefully this is the year of all years. If you know what I mean. We'll have a look at another one in a minute because it is fun to look at, isn't it? I'm praying for the S. Can't say it because it gives us it away. Oh, cheers for sorting that out, James. I don't know. I've never seen the guy. I like to leave it all up to the mods to sort out, but cheers for sorting that out. Anyway, let's look at the midnight run and see if it's any better, because let's be honest, that was a bit of a flop. And this is what we're doing today, looking at these model runs with all you lot as well. That's what we've got you lot for. Yeah, we hate the trolls, but sod the trolls. We're better than them. We are the Send It community, and we are all stronger. We're obviously going to get haters because I'm doing something different to the norm of what Weber creators do, but who cares? Something different. Just seeing the number of likes is 28. Thank you all for that. Didn't realise so many of you would really like this stream, but there you go. Right, we're going to skip to November with this because boring. It looks very dry though with that October as well. We'll say something. We'll say something before we start. Usually a wetter September is followed by a dry October. So my prediction is a dry October. End of November is going to be cold and probably snowy. Start of December is going to be cold and snowy. That is my prediction. It's very similar to James's prediction as well. Glad we're on the same mark there. But anyway, let's see what this CFS run is showing from the midnight. Let's see if it's any more interesting. Well, okay. What? Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you to Barb for the massive donation. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for being you. Oh, thanks, Barb. I do appreciate it. I do try my best. I'll drink a cup of tea to you. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. I'll always stay the same. It will always be the same. I'll always be a one-man band. But yeah, thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it, Barb. Keep being you. You keep being you. That's brilliant. And Josh, JS Photo WX, thank you for becoming a member. That is really nice of you. I do appreciate it a lot. That helps to support the channel and keep these videos going. Thank you. Yeah, very kind. Both very kind. A lot of you in this community are very kind. It's just how you all are, and I love it. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's our own little community and all this different stuff going on. It's brilliant. Anyway, thumbs up from me. You've got to send it thumbs up. You've got the seal of approval. Well, just for you, Bob, we've sent it to Scandi, the high pressure, into the first week of November. It's centred towards Scandinavia and winds are in from quite a cool easterly direction. Upper temperatures probably look quite mild there, but it would be quite frosty at night on the colder nights there. Maintaining an easterly wind with higher pressure, sending it to Scandi. And before it eventually does break down and it turns more Atlantic-driven westerly flow, high pressure begins to build through the country again, out to our west just about. Bring it back down. Here we go. Start of December, higher pressure, ridging out in the Atlantic, lower pressures going to our east into Denmark, and winds are in from a northerly direction. The -5 line is sinking back through the country into the start of December. And we are turning things cooler. There's an area of low pressure in the flow, a low in the flow. But with that area of high pressure positioned out strongly to our west, the Atlantic Ridge, that topples that low southwards and it becomes quite a significant low as it slips through the country. And we back the wind into a northerly direction. Definitely much cooler there, and that's the thumbnail. We've got low pressure trapped within higher pressure out to our west, bringing in that northerly wind into the back edge of that low, and that is circling the cold around, just going circling it around the country. Lots of snow there, actually possible. Got a little trough there to the south. We've got kinks in the isobars, some kinky isobars. We've got an area of low pressure in the North Sea, sliding southwards. We've got plenty going on there. Definitely interesting. What about yellow snow? Why? Why? No. Not yellow snow. Yellow snow looks like someone's weed. Anyway, though, we did get that brief northerly shot. That actually would bring in some quite widespread snow with that, I'm not even going to lie. Moving on from that, though, again, we've got a westerly theme. Higher pressure to the south, lower pressure to the north. High pressure tries to get going towards Scandi, but doesn't bring the cold air to us. Look at that. That's just the UK in a nutshell. Got higher pressure to our south. Got it ridging towards Scandinavia, and the cold air is going into Eastern Europe and Western Russia. Look at that Arctic air into Western Russia, into parts of Scandinavia, and we miss it all. Absolutely fantastic. Courtesy of an area of low pressure moving through the country. Disappointing. This is no exceptional runs like we've seen recently, is it? Tries to get towards Scandi again. There's just a lot of trying to get to Scandi, isn't there? Into the start of Jan. Send it to Scandi. Warm air evections taking place, which is inflating the high. Doesn't quite get towards Scandinavia though. Topples back over the country, and it's overall a very, very, very mild pattern. Brief ridging, that could have done something there. Higher pressure again, trying to get going to our northeast, 1040 millibars. The areas of low pressure are far too strong in the Atlantic though. The cold air is going just to our north, and we're on the mild side. Look at that. Disappointing as all heck. And turns milder again. Can see there eventually. 3rd Feb. This is really clutching at straws with this run. -5 line as an area of low pressure. Deep area of low pressure clears to our east, bringing in a cold northerly wind at times. Tried to get heights going towards Greenland by the 9th. Brief easterly, but actually it's quite mild with that. Oh, dearie me. This is disappointing. I've got to be honest. These are not like the charts I've seen in the last few days. So, very mild again. Let's look at the 12s then. Trying to find a cold one here, guys. This is pretty bad, isn't it? Brief northerly winds, that is a common theme from these runs, though. A brief northerly wind in November could be quite potent. Higher pressure looks dominant in this run. Got areas of low pressure at times, but overall, very mild. Oh, this is interesting. Actually, this is quite interesting. 1st of Jan, here we go. Higher pressure beginning to surge towards Scandinavia, bringing in the wind from an easterly direction. Will it properly build to Scandi? Will it send it to what? Will it send it to Scandi? Yes, it does send it to Scandi, but there's too much high pressure around. We're bringing an easterly wind and some colder air from the east. Oh, -10 line into the northeast there. Very close, but just topples away before it can develop. But here we go. There's a bit more ridging with this one. Higher pressure out to our west. Low areas of low pressure sinking southwards with brief easterly winds. Actually dragging in some colder air again there. Pretty cold for many parts of western Russia there into Scandinavia there. Does topple away though. Oh, it looks so close this run. Got higher pressure everywhere. Over the top of the country mostly though. Oh, damn it. Yeah, mild. The polar vortex looks very strong here. But again, by the end of Feb, higher pressure to our northeast, bringing in an easterly wind. That actually looks quite cold there. Forcing low pressure to our west. Yeah, that actually is quite cold. Big battleground scenario there between. Here you go. This is the battleground scenario. Higher pressure to our northeast. Areas of low pressure to our west. The polar vortex to our west. And along that boundary, there's the colder air here. That's going to be bringing in some snow, particularly to the west. Actually, quite a lot of snow along that boundary. Does move in and actually brings in some colder air. That actually could be a big snowmaker there. I'm not even going to be thingy there. I'm going to be honest. Looks very cold actually for the final days of February there with a -5 line and plenty of snow potential, especially in the west and southwest there actually. Does eventually turn mild into start of March, but you know, it's nothing too remarkable going on there. Josh, thank you Josh for the donation. I really do appreciate it, pal. Thank you for that. Send me 50 centimetres of snow. Yeah, thanks for the support, Josh. I love all your photos. I'm glad that you're getting the recognition that you deserve as well on the social media platforms. It's nice to see. Browse. Okay, come as long as it promises not to be slippery. You're rich, yeah. I don't know why people want to donate to me, because it's not like I'm anything remarkable, but yeah. There's never I'm thinking of one. Imelda will be Jim soon. Rachel, what city? But definitely noticed it from Max Velocity's thumbnail. I like watching him. He's very good. He's a very good forecaster, Max Velocity. I like Reed as well. I don't know if anyone watches him. He's American. I quite like him as well. Right, now I'm going to bring up something else because there's still quite a few of you in here. Yeah, well, that's still a lot of people. Cheers for everyone watching. Cindy, can you say my names when you get popular? I can know you made my Marco Mrevic. I hope I've said that. I'm terrible with names. I do apologise. John Bax, you deserve the spot. Cheers, pal. Yeah, you wouldn't know, Barb. You wouldn't know who Reed Timmer is. I'll try my best with that name, by the way. I'm very bad with names. Right, let me just show you this. Here we go. Let's see what the CFS model is actually forecasting for what? For the winter and the rest of autumn as well. Who wants to see this? Cheers, Alex, for liking the video. We've reached 30 likes. That's very remarkable for these streams. Yeah. Can you stop shouting? Rachel, shh. I can't help it. It's this microphone. It's a very good microphone, by the way. Thanks to my parents for buying it. But yeah, sometimes it does project my voice quite loud. Yeah, leave a like if you're enjoying. Right, we'll look at the CFS. And I'm going to have a cup of tea while I do that, so you can send your comments in. But yeah, thank you all very much for your support on this stream. Do really appreciate it. It helps out the channel to keep going as well. Right then, let's get on. Screw September, no one cares about that month. October time. Well, this will be a pretty mild October with higher pressure out to our west and winds are in from a northeasterly direction around that. That could be very touch and go, actually. The orientation of the high is key there because if it's out to our west and we're bringing a northeasterly wind, we could actually see quite a lot of frosty nights there. It could be quite cold at times. But on the other hand, it could be mild, bringing in air, Atlantic-driven air, so a bit of an iffy one there. November, though, hello. I've got extensive northern blocking. Apologies if you can't see that chart very well. Hopefully you can. Hello to Roberto. I just saw that message before I click back. We've got extensive northern blocking. We've got low pressure beginning to slide to our south, and the winds are in from an easterly direction. That could be an interesting month there. We could be dragging in air from the east. Pretty cold air from the east. The Arctic Circle, maybe. Western Russia could be bringing in some colder air like this. Sorry about the voice things, by the way. I'm struggling. I'm trying my best. But we've got also the Atlantic out to our west, and if that begins to drag in a southwesterly wind, that would not be good. That is very touch and go, but it's not too bad. December, that's piqued my interest. So we've got send it to Scandi. We've got plenty extensive northern blocking to our north. We've got areas of low pressure which are really badly represented here, and that could be bringing in an easterly wind, especially for Scotland. That looks quite cold. Interesting. January really strengthens that theme. We've got send it to Scandi going on there, send it to Greenland and Canadian side of Greenland there. Extensive northern blocking and winds are in from an easterly direction. Oh, this is an interesting run. Oh, never mind. February's a write-off. Don't care though if you get a cold December and Jan. Higher pressures in the Atlantic, but we've got low pressure through Western Europe there, extending into southern France, extending towards Greenland. That looks very unsettled and probably quite mild. March, many weathers. Well, that would actually be quite cold as well. Higher pressure between Iceland and Greenland, and winds are in from an northeasterly direction. That could be quite cold. Ooh, that's interesting. That is very interesting charts, to be fair. Hello to Crift. Sorry, I didn't shout you out before. Severe weather alert. Hello to you as well. That is actually some very interesting charts in there, I'd say. I was waiting for the collapse. Yeah, of course, you know. It does actually look very interesting, that those runs. Slight southeast interference. Yeah, it's one of them where the orientation of the high is key, is vital to what pattern we'd see there. But, you know, don't rule that out. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Now, I'm just going to bring up something very interesting, actually, which I've just thought about. Fiscal light easter winds, yeah, me too. Scandi High, send it to Scandi. I'd like to use that title a bit more in my videos. I'd like to do that, but we'll have to see. 25 watching, that's really strong. That's really strong. Thank you all for being here. I was honestly expecting about 10 viewers. I'll be honest, because I also saw Mark was doing his forecast. I will quickly show you the, and I know this stream's all over the place, but that's just my style, okay? I wanted to show you the GFS ensembles for the next couple of weeks, see what they are showing for London. So, basically, this is the most underwhelming chart that you will ever see on the Sendix Weather channel. I don't show underwhelming charts, I only show extremes. That's a joke, by the way, I show many things. But from the GFS ensembles, you might as well just draw a flat line, because that's basically what it is. There's an unsettled theme developing between the 3rd and the 6th of October, courtesy of that area of low pressure and the uncertainty of its positioning, but again, nothing too unsettled, especially in the south. But overall, we're looking at an average to slightly below average picture. There is literally nothing to say here, or nothing to see here, I should say, particularly in the south. You can see a few cooler runs in there, but nothing too remarkable. A few milder runs, but again, nothing too remarkable. Just average. It's just average, you know what I mean? It's just like me, just average. Moving further northwards to Aberdeen. Bit more unsettled as you expect as you head northwards. Actually, more of a chance of unsettled conditions in the north towards Aberdeenshire, the northeast in particular, and of course the west, with an area of low pressure pushing through in the far north of the country expected through the latter part of next week. But again, milder for a time with that low pressure, bringing that southwesterly wind. But again, we're returning to around average, so really not much going on. Any snow spikes? Yeah, there is. There you go. 6Z. Don't ignore the 12Z. 6Z. There's 2 snow spikes there. Get your sledges out. There you go. 2 snow spikes there. Get your sledges out. Ignore the 12. Ignore that. Wasn't a thing. Wasn't a thing. Barb sent 5 channel memberships. Thank you, Barb. You really don't need to do all this. Oh, no, they're the thingy ones as well. Oh, Richard's UK Tropical Garden Project. I didn't even know you were watching, pal. Oh, it's nice to see you in here as well. Could you pop in Hugh? Sure, I can. I'm sure I can, Laura. I'll pop that in for you. One ensemble going for 1. We are talking about 1 ensemble run going for -5. Are we being serious? That is not important. Yes, thank you very much to Barb. I don't know how to thank people properly. I'm rubbish with that, but yeah, I really appreciate all the stuff that you're doing. It's incredible. Christoph's got 1. Mark's got 1. Richard's UK Tropical Gardens, Fisker's received 1, and the Trainer Nature Show. Thank you very much for that. Epic, says Learners. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Welcome new members. Yeah, don't worry, I'll be getting the members stream set up now that I know what I'm doing. So I've got some big plans for the channel and the channel members and all that sort of stuff, including video ideas and what I'm planning on doing. So stay tuned, and there'll be some new stuff for the members as well. I have been very busy at the moment, but luckily some things are out of the way, so it's great. I'll show you them for Laura. I'll show you Hugh Town if it actually comes up in the search, and then I'll go back to reading the comments. There you go, Hugh Town. Ignore the snow death one, but yeah, right. Laura, this is for you. The ensemble graph for Hugh Town looks like this. So we are basically a little bit above average through the first week of October. Unsettled spells at times continuing really through the first couple of weeks of October. Looks pretty dry at the moment, or drying out I should say. But into October, around to slightly below average into the second week, but the first week looks a little bit above average. Not too many cooler runs down here, but there are a few, so it could be time for change. Does look a little bit above average. It's one of those weird spells where it looks actually milder in the north and cooler in the south because we're bringing in a southwesterly wind, but in the southeast could actually be quite chilly at times with an easterly wind. So it's one of them. It's one of those really. No, yeah, I think they did. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that was informative to you. To your Training Nature show, Laura. Chris saying W Barb. Yeah, Barb's a brilliant member of the channel. She's been around for ages, supports loads of other stuff and mods. So I probably should make her a mod, shouldn't I? But we've got James as well. James is a new mod. I've trusted him for years. He's brilliant, mate. And I wanted to add him in. Yeah. I think cooler for South October, possibly. Depends on if the high pressure is established further northwards, and we bring in a southwesterly wind. Oh, sorry, further southwards and we bring in a southwesterly wind. For Scotland, the southeast could actually have some quite cold nights at times. So it could be one to watch. Stay tuned. But yeah, that's that one. So all in all, very interesting, I must say. For the winter stuff, ignore the current trends. There's not too much going on, I'll be honest. We can quickly look at the ECM run because we've actually done a longer stream than usual, and that's due to you lot supporting it. 3 likes away from 40. Let's get that up to 40 then. We've got more of you joining now. Well then, let's see what it's showing. Higher pressure to our southwest. There you can just see it there. Higher pressure just to our southwest towards Spain and Portugal. Bringing in that southwesterly wind. Pretty mild for the north, but maybe cooler in the southeast. One to watch there. But that area of low pressure, which I've been talking about, bringing unsettled weather to the north. Sorry, everyone. That should be better. We've got low pressure to our northeast, moving through Scotland. Sorry, I don't know. I've drank too much tea. That's what it is. Got area of low pressure though, clearing to our northeast. Winds are in from a northwesterly direction into the far north of Scotland. Otherwise, though, it's pretty mild, really. Not too much to say about that. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed today's stream because I've enjoyed it. And cheers to everyone that has supported it. Can you just run Croatia? It is a tricky forecast. Heating on. Do I admit or deny? Confirm or deny? No, I don't confirm or deny. Um, I'll be honest, Marco. I'm getting used to forecasting other countries. I did look at the European, and I am getting better at it, but I'm not confident enough to give you a proper forecast yet. But that is something coming to the channel. A lot of you have mentioned that you'd like to see European forecasts. Thank you to Justine86 for becoming a member. Wow, lots of members coming in today. I really appreciate it. But yeah, Marco, stick around. You might see some European forecasts in the future. You haven't heard much from Gav today. He's had a nasty fall, Roberto. I'll let you all know. He's had a nasty fall and he smashed his phone up and stuff. Hopefully he's okay. That's why he's been a little bit inactive at the moment. Should do a Europe forecast. I will start doing them, Marco. Yeah, I will start doing them once I'm more confident with them. But yeah, he's okay, I think. But yeah, he had a nasty fall, and yeah, hopefully he's all right. So we'll have to just see. You know, I'm sure he'll be okay. He's a tough guy. He's gone through a lot. He's gone through a lot of stuff at the moment. But yeah, hopefully he's on the mend. Justine's happy to show support. Yeah, thank you very much for that as well. It's too cold to put heating on. To be honest, I don't need heating when I've got which won't show up, a blanket. Oops, I've just knocked my headphones over. But when you've got a nice blanket that your parents get you, you don't need the heating. You just wrap up in that, or you know, get in bed and wrap up in that, and you're all good. Let's be honest. Your parents are your best friends sometimes, aren't they? They sort you out when you're struggling. So yeah, don't know why I just mentioned that, but yeah. What do you think about the warm September equals mild winter theory? I've got to be honest, learners, I think it is a load of baloney. I don't think it does anything, to be honest. I think that the weather can do whatever it wants. I think these theories about mild September, mild winter, I think there is some weight to it. There is some support for it. Like these colder winters have had below CET Septembers, such as like 14 degrees or 13, and they've been really cold winters. But I don't know. I just think it's rubbish. I just think year by year we might just see one year that has a ridiculously mild period from January to October, and then the winter could be an absolute snowstorm and a blizzard and easterly winds throughout the whole time, and none of the background signals could have showed it. I also think the models showing milder than average every single time. There's going to be a time when they're going to be wrong. They can't be right the whole time just because of, and I will mention the horrible words, climate change, which I don't like talking about on this channel. It's a bag of worms, but just because climate change and all the other climate drivers are happening, and geoengineering and all that sort of stuff, which by the way doesn't affect anything, all it does is alters the chance of extreme. So you can still see extremely mild, which we have already seen 2018, 2022 summers. You also can see extremely cold winters, and we're yet to see that, but there's got to be a year when that happens, and I believe it's on the way. So yeah, exactly. Models, I will say something as well. Models are very bad at the moment. All of them, all of the models have performed terribly. They've had massive swings, they've got it wrong loads of times, they've reverted back, gone back to previous patterns. Very uncertain at the moment. A few days ago, this was showing colder weather into the second week of October, but it just depends. My personal opinion, and if you want to hear my forecast, and I did mention this before, I think it will be a cold end to November, and through the first couple of weeks of December are ones to watch. I also think at the end of Feb, start of March, could be some cold. But there you go. That's my opinion. January, I think will be stormy, but could have a few cold snaps in there. I just don't think it will be anything too great. The models this year have shown some very extreme ideas. They certainly have, Sue, yeah. But that's the beauty of looking at them. You can get a good title. No, the wrong way. We don't want heat wave. We want cold. Do you know how this graph shown last year? I'll actually show you something. Archive. Let me see if I can find it. Archive. I'm actually going to have a look at something with you all, which I've not done before. Now, I want to see if I can see it. I want to go to that year. Let's see if I can do it. Let me try that. Oh, Is that gonna 1947? Is that the right year? Oh, I don't know. I think it was 46, 47. I think I'm in the wrong year. 46. This is the right one, right? Please let me know. Oh, was this the right one? I don't think it is. Oh, damn. Which year was it that was really cold? I can't remember. But it had a very mild September. Was it this year? I don't know because I'm not old enough to know. Snow and cold can kill. You don't want too. Yeah, you don't want too much, but yeah. Do you want to have a look at 2018? Go on then. We'll have a brief look at 2018. The beast from the east, and I also get to do my little line, don't I? Go on then. Right, 2018. There's nothing too crazy with this one, to be honest. Right, we're gonna go to the 24th Jan and start from there. Now I'm gonna have to zoom in and do my enhance, zooming in there. We'll have a very quick look at this stuff. Good idea to look at 2018. The CFS is paradox. Either can't or can find snow. It's a very contrast. Interesting thing about 47 is, I don't know if my grandma's watching this, but that was the year that she was born. And yes, she's a brilliant. She always supports me. Because I'm wearing my badge. It's brilliant. I love her. She's absolutely fantastic. One of my biggest supporters. Love her to bits. Always have done and always will. If you're watching. Yeah, 2021 was good for us. Yeah. Yeah, very big supporter. She tells everyone about it on the street. It's brilliant. I love to see it. And it makes me really embarrassed, but, you know, that's what grandma's there for. Yeah, 2018, we'll have a look at that. We'll start 24th of Jan. Very Atlantic-driven to start with. We've got higher pressure. Oh, it makes me... Anyway, higher pressure to our west begins to ridge out into the start of February. Maybe a sign of things to come. Bring down a little bit of a cooler northerly wind. -5 line through the country. Something I have to mention actually about the beast from the east was that the GFS was the only model to be predicting this really bitterly cold air at the start. It was the first model, and then the ECM came round to showing it, and then the other models thereafter. You can actually see signs of possibly what could happen. 5th of Feb, sorry. Higher pressure's trying to send it to Scandi there, bringing in some easterly winds into northeastern Europe, but we're obviously pretty mild. At times, -10 line is through the country, but we are mostly dry there. Maybe a couple of snow showers in the far east, briefly. Moving on, though, it really is about this. This is what I showed you a few days ago, actually. You can see, though, there's nothing going on at this point. Have some higher pressure trying to move northwards. You can see it begins to weaken, and then here we go. Comes out of nowhere. Higher pressure sitting just over and to the east of the country. And then all of a sudden, we've got low pressure really developed to our west. And all of a sudden, warm air advection, which is where the higher pressure is basically sent northwards. It powers up towards our north. We send it properly to Scandi. We've got higher pressure beginning to really build throughout the Atlantic, the North Sea, really building. And you can just see the absolutely frigid conditions just across the pond there. About to arrive. We've got higher pressure. This is what you really want to see for a bitterly cold spell. Higher pressure begins to move further north and westwards, and we begin to dig in to that really cold air from the northeast. The beast from the east. The -10 line is through the country, besides the far north of Scotland. Bitterly cold air. We've got little troughs, little kinks in the isobars. There are little features just out to our west. They're going to be in plenty of snow, if anyone remembers that. Even I remember that, and our school was still open throughout that period. I think I had a day off though. I had to have a snow day one of the days. We've got areas of low pressure really diving well to our south. A massive blocking high to our north, 1040 millibars, and we are beginning to drag into some even colder air from western Russia. A real beast from the east, a raw easterly. Probably felt colder than it was. I cannot remember. All I remember is just loads of snow, more than I'd ever seen in 2018. Continuing that easterly wind as higher pressure begins to move further northwestwards, and you can just see how cold the air is. The -15 line through the country on the 28th. It came out of nowhere, this, by the way. Continues to remain cold. Areas of low pressure to our south. We've wrapped into that really cold air. They're bringing massive snow events to the south and southwest there, you'd imagine. Plenty of snow, bitterly cold air. Some of that could have been rain in the far south. I think it would have been because it has a mild sector associated with it. But Midlands southwards into southern central Midlands, lots of snow there. Higher pressure is beginning to move further towards Greenland and Iceland. It does turn milder, but I remember it does have another go, so it has that really cold spell, which, by the way, lots of frost, snow, blizzards, whatever you want to call it. But then, here we go again. You can see heights are still there, just towards Scandinavia, but again, they begin to develop to our northeast. And I remember this on the news when I was watching BBC Weather and all that sort of stuff. Higher pressure is still around just to our northwest, and we drag in, yet again, the -10 line. Beast from the east again, returns very briefly. -10 line, back through the country for a couple of days there. Very cold, an exceptional March spell. And then it turns milder. So it is, well, definitely a ridiculous spell. One which is very uncommon and very unlikely to happen again. What is the name of this graph? Well, it's on Wetterzentraal, and you can go to the archive. I'll show you here. It's on wetterzentraal.com, and you can go to the archive, and it shows you all the charts, and you just change the year. That's how you view all of that. That sort of thing. Whoopsie daisies. Let me see what other people are saying. That is probably the end of the stream, by the way. This has been a really enjoyable stream to watch. No global warmest, but a coolest, but I don't really want it cold. John, that is understandable. A lot of people don't. That's very yeah. College in 2018. Remember that? Yeah. Classic voice, like it. Couple of red snow warnings around the UK. I remember that. I do remember that. I do remember a lot about that year, which is surprising. Crazy how I've only lived through 3 winters actually considered cold than average. 2021 and 2018. 2010-11 doesn't count for me. 2009-10 does not count because I do not remember a single thing about it. Thanks for 40 likes as well. I've just seen that. Beast from these 2 facts it bought 20 centimeters in 1 night rather than a week. Yeah. Thanks for the tips and everything. First time my school shut was 10th of December 2017. Hold on. December. Let's see what happened on the 10th. 2017. Boom. Oh, yes. That's a classic pattern. Higher pressure out to our west, lower pressures to our south, and they've got an area of low pressure in the North Sea. Cold air is sinking southwards, the -5 line. Yes, I can understand why your school would have shut there, because you're probably prime placed. Got low pressure probably just over East Anglia there, just out to our east. So I imagine that maybe even Soot saw some snow there, possibly. Although it probably is very marginal if you saw any or not there. 0 degree line, not -5. Maybe not. I remember it really bad, yeah. A lot of people, see, that's the thing, a lot of the younger generation like me will remember, 2017, 2018. So, yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? I mean, it will happen. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not being one of them people, but I do think it will happen at some point in the future. I do think we will see another cold winter. I don't know why I'm sat like this. I feel really chilled. But yeah, I do think we will see a really cold winter at some point. Nothing comes close 6263. That was a bitter one. Even the April 1981 or 82 was also bitterly cold as well. That was an exceptional April spell. April 21 was cold as well. I remember that really cold air surging from the far north of the Arctic when it was beginning to diminish, as it normally does. Yeah. my grandma and all my relatives have got plenty of memories, I'm sure, of digging cars out of snow, travelling on foot to school, all that sort of stuff in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 40s, 50s. There's probably lots there, which I don't know about. I was like, but only 3, yeah. Those remarkable winters. Yeah, even James wasn't. I know James is old, but even he wasn't that old to experience any of that stuff. Yeah. More south in London, unfortunately, it was just rain. Yeah, probably just rain. Yeah, I did say it probably was quite marginal there, because you can see almost East Anglia there, but it is just a little bit too mild maybe with that. Yeah, so just a few messages from me. The winter videos will continue because there's a lot of demand for them. I'm really enjoying doing them, and I'm sure a lot of you are too. The weekly live streams will continue as well because they're really fun to do, and I've really enjoyed this one. It's been great talking to you all, and quite a lot bigger than I expected as well, considering Mark Rogan and things like that were doing streams. as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the winter videos, because obviously they're quite conflicting in terms of opinions from people. I've got the climate change people on one hand who, I'll get into it. It's fair enough. There is a lot going on in the climate at the moment, and also in previous years. You've got the climate change people. You've got the people that love the winter videos and say that I'm brilliant at doing them. You've got the people that hate them. I'm one of the people that loves doing them because it's something different to the norm. And they're some of my favourite videos to record. And I am passionate about winter months. I won't hide it. I love doing winter months. I love doing summer months. It just depends on the activity. And at the moment, there is nothing going on. There is nothing to talk about. Still used coal when I was born, but Mum was so poor. Oh, she burnt old rags. I bare froze. I was like, yeah, how things have changed. I say conflicting. The likes are very strong on the winter videos. But yeah, I'll keep at them. And yeah, the support has been incredible. Fastest growing weather channel. I mean, third fastest growing weather channel, only behind the Metaphys and one other. He's pretty incredible, I'd say. For someone like me, who's pretty lazy half the time. Yeah, but yeah, thank you all for all support. Keep it coming. And if you do enjoy these these weekly live streams, like button. I am going away, so next week there might not be. Oh, yeah, there will be, because I'm back on Friday. There will be a few pre-recorded videos. Let me tell you, there's some corker pre-recorded videos in there. I'll be away Tuesday to Friday, but they'll all be pre-recorded videos. But I've got some really big videos scheduled coming up for you all in those days, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, it's just kind of like I do want a really cold winter, I'll be honest. I want to experience one. I want to vlog one. Like, get me with my little selfie stick vlogging in the snow. I haven't really got a setup of, vlogging. Hey guys, vlogging in the snow. Get me snow shovel out, digging the snow out. Digging my car out with snow. That'd be so cool, wouldn't it? Where am I going? East Coast. I'm not going to specify because I don't want to dox where I'm going, but yeah, East Coast. That's as much as I'm going to say. It's only for a few days. It's a nice getaway. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Big thanks to everyone for supporting me. Yeah, thanks, Danny. And you're a big supporter as well. Us young people haven't experienced anything. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what more do I say? We haven't. We've experienced 2017-18. We've technically experienced 2010, but nothing really happens. Nothing's happened in the last few years. But mark my words, 1 year between now and 2030 will be an extreme winter. Telling you now, and I'm here to forecast it, and I hope you lot will stick with me. Thank you all very much for your support. There you go. And yeah, so weekly live streams on a Saturday night will continue. Saturday night, Send It night, yeah, they'll continue. The videos will continue with a mix of winter, summer, autumny stuff, and also some other stuff, which might be a few collabs. Yeah, we'll see where things take us, eh? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Quick shout out to everyone who's got Trainer Nate Show, Griff Beast, James098, JS Photos, and Wet 8 saying mild. Yep, that's your common comment, pal. You always say it on every video. I'm used to it. Thank you, Barb, Mac, Josh, and Earthheart for the Earthheart. Yep, that's better. For the contributions to the channel and, of course, the memberships and stuff. Couldn't hear the budget. You know what? You scared him off. He's here. You can't see him on the camera, but he's here, and he's been silent as I don't know, as silent as anything is probably the best way to put it. Very silent. She's fine. Or he, well, I don't know. Doris is fine. Yeah. So, bye. Bye, everyone. Apologies about rambling on a bit, but it was really fun to do. So, hit that like button. Let's get to 50. See you next time, everyone. Cheers for all the support.